gonna keep it short and keep it simple, okay? NXT was a great show. They did really good with the show in terms of the booking. It was fun to watch. You didn't know really who was gonna win by the way the match card went. Hold tight, y'all. So it was a good show. And we got a nice little surprise announcement that there will be an NXT Women's North American Championship. And we love that. Okay. We've been begging for this. And Shawn Michaels gave it to us. Appreciate you, Shawnee boy. We appreciate that. Now, Trip, get your shit together. Okay. Get your shit together so we can have the same smoke on the main roster. Women's Intercontinental, Women's United States Championship. Make it happen, bruh. You ain't got nothing but time. Okay? Nothing but time. All right? But let's get into it. Let's talk about the first match of the show. Surprisingly, the match between Gacy and Shawn Spears was actually pretty entertaining. Okay? There wasn't really anything bad about the match. Now, they had Ridge Holland on the show for the opener, for the kickoff part. And then Ridge Holland, decided he was going to bust Joe Gacy in the back with the chair, which I told y'all to make sure y'all paid attention to when Ridge Holland was going to start some bullshit. But it is very clear that has already begun, and he already has started to turn. Make sure y'all keep paying attention because eventually I believe Joe Gacy will be siding with Shawn Spears and Ridge Holland at some point. But y'all will believe me when you see it, I guess. Joe Gacy ended up picking up the win over Shawn Spears, which I told y'all he was going to win against Spears. I knew he was going to win, okay? Moving on to the next match, the girls was out there fighting, okay? They had fuck-ass Kiana and that cat-faced lady and JC out there along with Fallon, Thea, and Kaylani. Now, what was key about this particular match was not even the match itself, which was a fairly solid match, to be honest with you. Now, the lady with the messed up arm got involved, but she ended up not being a factor later on in the match. However, what you had to pay attention to, or what you should have paid attention to, was the end when Fallon and all the girls was standing tall and JC and them had lost. Fallon was the only one who really wasn't feeling the whole Thea getting the pin and the win and being the one hoisted up as the girl. Fallon wasn't feeling that. Fallon getting ready to change and be a heel too. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah. Now this match kind of lightweight pissed me off. I can't explain to you why, but it did. Baron and Braun should not be champion, but my mind is telling me that the reason why is because Shawn wanted NXT Stand and Deliver to stand out and be a banger of a show. I don't understand why he ain't just give it to the good fellas or the good brothers, Gallows and Anderson, to begin with, because you can still have a great match with big men, which I will get to that match in a second because it was my favorite match of the night. Not even gonna lie. This match was a good match. It was a nice setup for the triple threat match that we saw in the rest of the card on Stand and Deliver. Frazier and Axiom always do exceptionally well, and even though they had a size disadvantage against Braun and Baron Corbin, they still were able to perform at a high level against them and use their high-flying capabilities against them. But ultimately, the power of Braun and Baron is what got them the championships, and that's ultimately what let them keep them. I personally believe they should have dropped the titles, but my mind is telling me that Shawn Michaels is like, I need to save something for my back pocket, and Gallows and Anderson are going to be champions soon. I don't see Braun and Baron keeping them titles past a month. Real talk. I think they're gonna drop it on the NXT show. Honestly, my favorite match of the night was this one. Never in a million years did I ever think that I would say that these three men put on a stellar match, and they did. It was so much fun watching these three big dudes go at it. Okay, Obafemi almost lost that title 3 fucking times. Briggs, he only almost got it once. Dijak was almost champion down to the wire. And had he had did his due diligence instead of taking his sweet ass time, he probably would be champion right now. Briggs was doing everything in his power to keep this match going, but real talk, the momentum was all in Oba and Dijak's favor. And boy, did they put on a match. There's a stunt at the end of this match where Obafemi has all of them on his shoulders and he ends up dropping them down. It's nuts. It is crazy. This was my favorite match tonight. It was so good. 5 fucking stars. Okay. If you didn't see Stand and Deliver and you don't want to watch anything, watch this match and the last 3 matches that have happened on the card, because they are well worth the watch. The other 3 are worth the watch, but they ain't going to give you nothing except for a little bit of tea. You'll get a little tea on Holland, a little tea on Gacy, a little tea on Sean. You get a little tea on Fallon and where she about to go next. But you don't really get nothing from the tag team championship. I'm not trying to be mean, but that's just the reality of it. But these last matches after and this match, stellar matches. Okay, let's go to the women's match. Lyra lost. Roxanne got her championship back. That bitch ain't gonna keep that belt for long. I guarantee she will not be champion for long. Now, Lyra's not too happy about losing to Roxanne. In this match, the reason why Lyra lost was because she was at a 90, possibly 80, 90%. I believe if she was at 100%, it probably would have been a harder fought battle. But because Roxanne was not 100%, well, because Lyra was not 100%, that gave Roxanne the opening to be able to take her out. And Roxanne worked on her arm that entire match. Even with Tatum trying to come in and cause a distraction, that did not help. It didn't help. Lyra ended up tapping to Roxanne. I would have passed out before I tapped to anything, but she tapped. So it is what it is. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it. Tony D'Angelo and Ilya Dragunov surprised the hell out of me. The only title that changed hands on this card was the title between Lyra and Roxanne. Those was the only titles that was the only title that changed hands on this card was Lyra's title. Now, Ilya and Tony D'Angelo had a hard fought battle, and it was really, really good. Tony D'Angelo, there was a couple times where he definitely almost won. Now, the underboss was trying to get him to cheat. Tony didn't want to do that. Tony wanted to make sure he won and beat Ilya fair and square with no questions asked. But ultimately, Dazar was able to best Tony D'Angelo. Even at his best, he was able to beat him. I have told y'all time and time again, usually when the card is leading up to the match and everything is going in the opponent's favor, or everything is going in the champion's favor, that person usually is going to lose. And for the most part, that's pretty correct. When the momentum was in Nathan Frazier and Axiom's favor, they lost that Stand and Deliver. The momentum swung into Lyra's favor towards the end of NXT this past Tuesday. Lyra lost just now in NXT Stand and Deliver. And most of the momentum was in Tony D'Angelo's favor for the majority of their feud. He had the upper hand, which is how the Czar was able to come in and take back the champion and keep the championship. Obafemi, another one. A lot of the with Oba, it was more equal across the board. You really didn't know who was going to win when it came to Oba and Dijak and Briggs. I just felt like it was Dijak's time. But I wasn't right about that. I was wrong. Now, when it comes to the final match, the main event, they pulled out a really good main event. I thought that they did an excellent job at playing up to Trick Williams' heel era. To Carmelo's heel era. Trick Williams did great. They had great entrances. Carmelo came out with the Killmonger gear. I kind of wish that Trick Williams would have had the Chad Boseman Black Panther inspired gear. I wish he would have did that, but he didn't. He came out to his legacy. He wanted to build his own, so he had pretty much had a boxer's entrance, and that crowd went nuts when he came out there because he's the hometown hero. He's the hometown boy. Okay. It was a great match between the two of them. Ref got knocked out twice. Trick used the chair. Carmelo low blowed him, tried to use a chair. Ultimately, it was Trick Williams in that needed. He was able to get the win, and Trick Williams triumphed over Carmelo Hayes. Stand and Deliver, to me, I would give it a B minus. I thought overall all of the matches were very solid. Everything that was booked made sense. It seems like they're setting up stories for the next couple of months, and they were able to introduce a new title coming in to the company. But not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but Stardom's Julia was sitting front row with William Regal and a whole bunch of other people. She was prominently shown on TV right after Roxanne won her championship. This is an unprecedented time, because if you don't know who Julia is, let me see if I can pull up her profile for y'all so y'all can figure out who she is. Because it's been rumored for a while that Julia is leaving Stardom and she's coming over to NXT. Well, she was coming to the States, but it seems that it might not just be the States. You know what I'm saying? She might be popping up in NXT. So let me show y'all. We're going to go over here to Cage Side Seats, because Cage Side Seats have the tea sometimes. All right. Now, Julia is a free agent currently. She was over in NXT. And she was sitting next to Stardom's ex-booker, Rossi. And she was sitting next to William Regal. Okay. They say that she's supposed to sign with NXT after she helps Rossi launch his new promotion. But with her appearing on television like this, usually this means that she more than likely is going to sign with the NXT and going to start her training at the Performance Center shortly after. This happened with a lot of superstars that they prominently featured on NXT during live shows or whatever the case may be. So it's very possible that Julia has signed her deal and she's going to be in NXT and showing up on the roster very, very soon. But there you have it, ladies and gents. NXT Stand and Deliver was not a long show. Okay. And in about an hour and a half, we'll be ready to start off and kick off WrestleMania. So we got NXT down in the books, ladies and gents. Y'all let me know in the comments what you thought about NXT. Did you like the show? Did you think that it was interesting? Are you satisfied with each of the winners? It is what it is for me. I'm sad Lyra had lost her title, but I kind of figured if it was Cora would have got the title. So giving it to Roxanne with her current persona, it does make sense, because I knew once Cora came back, the trajectory that they gave her, I knew she was going to be champion very soon. And I knew it was going to be off of Lyra. However, she went down and Roxanne ended up coming in with the save. So we will see. But the schedule is set. Okay, so tomorrow we got Stand and Deliver now. Stand and Deliver's kickoff starts at 5. WrestleMania's kickoff starts at 5. Then the main show starts at 7. Tomorrow the Slammies will start at 10:30 in the morning. Y'all can go over to wwe.com/Slammies to go vote. and you can vote for whoever you want to win. You can vote as many times as you want, as far as I know. And then we will have the countdown to WrestleMania at 5 p.m. And then WrestleMania will start at 7. Then Raw will still be emanating from Philly at 8 on Monday. Okay, so we got a lot. We still got a lot going, but we finna knock out this first night of WrestleMania. And if you forgot the card, I'm gonna remind you, and then I'm gonna get out y'all here. Okay. So the card is supposed to have Dom going up against his daddy again, along with Escobar, and it's not Dragon Lee, it is actually Andrade. We got a 6-woman tag team with Damage Control going up against their arch nemesis Bianca, Naomi, and the newest addition, Jade Cargill. The 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. The rules for this match are as follows. All the belts must be removed from the hanger hanging over the arena. If they are not removed, the match is not over. Every belt has to be pulled down in order for you to win. Okay? The 6-pack challenge consists of Awesome Truth, A-Town Down Under, New Cash Republic, New Day, Judgment Day, and DIY. Gunther and Sami Zayn are going to battle it out for that Intercontinental Championship. And with all of the publicity they've been giving Gunther as lately, pushing him out there, touting him as being the best, I don't know, y'all. I think Gunther losing today, honey. I think he losing, babe. Jimmy and Jay Uso are battling it out as brother versus brother. It's the first time. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's the 4th time brothers will be competing against each other at WrestleMania. And then we're getting into the final throes of tonight's show. Rhea Ripley will be challenged by Becky Lynch for her women's championship. And of course, we have the tag team match between between the two main eventers of tomorrow night's WrestleMania. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes will face off against Roman and The Rock. And whoever wins will determine the situation or the stipulation of the match for tomorrow's Mania. If Bloodline wins, then it's Bloodline rules, which means anything goes. If Cody and Seth wins, then Cody will finally get a one-on-one match with Roman Reigns with no interference and no interruptions by anyone, according to The Rock's word, which you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. All right. So tomorrow night, you'll have these last matches. LA Knight and AJ Styles will finally duke it out after they fought at the damn WWE World, which was wild. You got the Pride versus the Final Testament in a street fight. And then you have this 3-man triple threat match for the United States Championship. Io Sky will take on Bayley for her WWE Women's Championship. Seth Rollins will face off against Drew McIntyre. And of course, Roman Reigns will face off against Cody Rhodes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your WrestleMania card. I'm going to get out of here because I have to finish cooking dinner for Mania today. And I will see you guys tonight after the show. I hope you guys enjoy Stand and Deliver. If you didn't get to watch it on the original first play, you can always come back and watch it now on the replay. It should be up for the replay within an hour or so. And that way you don't have to suffer through the Mania pre-show because it's just going to be long, drawn out, and just rehashing bullshit we've already seen. So I will see you guys tonight, probably around 12 o'clock when Mania is over. Y'all have a good night. Bye.